Friends, the municipalities are not all right. Now, that's not to pick on municipalities in particular or any specific one. What I mean is the Union of Municipalities of New Brunswick recently got together, had a conference. There was a pivotal report released called Toward a New Fiscal Framework for New Brunswick Municipalities. It was authored by Dr. Craig Brett. He's the professor of economics at Mount Allison University. On behalf of UMNB, he released a report that is basically sounding the alarm on deficits and annual deficits, infrastructure problems, and how we are falling short as a province when it comes to the things that our municipalities need to make life better for everyone and to meet our basic infrastructural needs. And of course, when I say the boring word or complicated word like infrastructure, I'm thinking about how yesterday when I was talking to grade 6s to 12s at Macadam High School, got to avoid the word infrastructure when you're talking to that age group. We are talking about bridges, roads, schools, hospitals, the buildings, the physical hard resources that we need in order to support the personnel moving people back and forth and getting the services we need. The UMNB came out with this report called Dialogue for Action. It was actually aimed at candidates, provincial candidates, MLAs. I would encourage you, if you're talking to any other candidates, ask them if they have read this and what they think of the 5 recommendations that are in there. Just want to give you a quick rundown of what the municipalities are saying. This is what we need. And friends, this is the kind of content, like it or not, that when I am your MLA, I'm going to continue to bring to you if you're a bit of a policy wonk or just want to know what's going on. I've said it before, this pin is not going anywhere. The 5 priorities that we need in our riding, but also live for 5, probably not every day. I've heard being an MLA is quite busy, although right now campaigning and running my business at the same time has been like having 2 jobs. So I look forward to parking my business, getting that taken care of, and being your 100% full-time MLA. But then this kind of content will be to inform you of the things that I'm learning and the things that I'm working on. So 5 recommendations that the municipalities, we've got 4 of them in Saint Croix, and those 4 municipalities are going to be, of course, a top priority for me, working with them to say, hey, how does this apply? So one of their recommendations is to create a stronger and more unified provincial municipal partnership. I recently heard the president of UMNB say that there needs to be more partnership between the province and the municipalities, not kind of a top-down patriarchal view, but more MLAs embedded. Again, I've attended the council meetings. Yesterday I was in Macadam Town Council, Village Council meeting, St. Stephen's, St. Andrews. I've been sitting there alone in the gallery. And yes, I've been told that when I attended my first meeting, I have attended more council meetings than our current MLA in their 4 years. So this is a crucial, important step for the MLA to sit down and understand what the towns and villages, the 4 municipalities of Saint Croix are processing, but they want to see more of a partnership level. The second recommendation in here, if you'll allow me, is complete the work of municipal reform. So we've talked about how there was amalgamation, a bunch of lines redrawn, but the service commissions did not get the money that is needed when all those lines were redrawn. Policing is one way we're feeling that. The RCMP were given huge new territory, but not the funding to go along with it. Now, number 3, collaborate with municipalities to address housing affordability, building the right kind of housing supply to support population growth, and taking action on shared goals to end chronic homelessness. Hey, I'm all about that. The first 2 fingers of my 5 hands here were affordable housing and keeping people in their homes, housing for all. The 4th recommendation that, again, the UMNB is making to the province is establish a distinct housing strategy. And this is around more urban centers. So the fact that they have urban centers here and the Greens want to have a Department of Rural Affairs, I want to figure out what the challenges are as a counterpart to this, to our rural housing challenges. And each of our municipalities in our riding is rural. And so we would just put a little twist on that and say, oh, what are our rural strategies and how do we support growth and affordable housing targets and adequately address challenges related to homelessness? And so there is a bit of an urban bias, like so many things that we see constantly in policy. And again, as somebody who is going to be MLA of a 100% rural riding, I will of course say what are the challenges and unique plans that we need to set in place for our rural riding. And the fifth thing is to conduct a comprehensive provincial policing review. Can I get an amen? In consultation with municipalities. Now, I will say Greens are for exploring the possibility of municipal police services. There are currently 13. I did a whole series of videos on this earlier about the different kinds of policing. So, of course, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars as municipalities, million plus as a riding on the RCMP, but other municipalities have said, let's pool our money together, even multiple municipalities, to have a shared police force to keep the policing services local. So that, for example, if an incident happens in St. George and several officers that are on duty go up there, well, something happens in Macadam, and of course, the officers are an hour and a half away. That's the way it works right now, again, because of the reforms that have happened, but without the fiscal reforms, without saying, here's some money to supply the services or to make up for the gaps that will happen from the hugely increased territories. We want to see a change in that and see a fair funding model. This is a UMNB again that I'm reading, to ensure appropriate community presence and visibility. And again, I would say a courthouse. So this is an example of, well, we need to see a fair funding model. We need to explore why the police are so tied up or so unresponsive. We know why in our riding. It's because there's no courthouse. It's because so many officers need to drive to St. John and be in court and sit in court and be tied up that way. We've only got 35 officers in our entire regional service commission, which goes from the Saint Croix River up past to Macadam and then all the way to the west side of St. John. And that's a result of the kind of reform that happened, amalgamation, but without the fiscal reform. I'm going to lay this here because I'm 7 minutes in. Tomorrow I want to talk about specifically now, those are the recommendations. I want to talk about the report that came out that I mentioned earlier, what the shortfalls are in terms of what our municipalities need. I want to talk about kind of the current MLA situation, the approach to some of our fiscal needs, our infrastructural needs, and exactly what I will do starting Tuesday when I'm your MLA on how to address the shortfalls and the things that our municipalities need. But if I keep talking now, I'll just give away the whole farm. I'm going to endeavor in these last few days to keep these videos as close to 5 minutes as I can because I am out canvassing. I was out canvassing today. Thankfully, the weather is beautiful. I was in Milltown. Tomorrow, the plan is to be in St. Andrews. I'm hoping to be in Campobello on Saturday, and then in my neighborhood on the final day of canvassing around my house where I live, around the Tim Hortons area in St. Stephen. It has been a few months of canvassing and getting to knock on doors and meet as many of you as I can. But now I'm looking at the clock and saying, oh my gosh, there's only 3 days left, 3 or 4 more days of video left. And I'm really looking forward to election night because I'm sure that I'm going to get the privilege of being your MLA. And I'm reading reports and geeking out like this, ready to hit the ground running. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I am off to Neighborhood Works right now to the community dinner. You can join us there. I'll be serving with my kids. And I hope to see you